Right, a beautiful morning to you. It is the 27th day in the month of February 2025, and we're super excited. Maybe because the month is almost getting to an end, and we can't wait to march into the month of March. On behalf of board management and staff, I want to welcome you to Thursday's edition of Morning Ride. A lot has been buzzing on our political scene and in our society at large. So today promises to be packed and insightful. We are here to entertain, educate, and of course inform you. I'm not here alone. I'm here with Perpetual Iboba. Good morning, Perpetual.
Good morning, Chizzy.
How you doing?
I'm good.
All right, welcome. All right, so today we have a lot in stock for you. We are going to be talking trending issues, and of course, we have our guest analysts who will come in to dissect some of these issues happening in our society today. We have our paper review, and of course, we have our interview segment where we'll have Dr. Urema Obodaga come here, and she's going to be talking to us on self-care and the importance of taking yourself and your health very seriously. Once again, I'm Chizzy Awuno. Now, today being the 27th day in the month of February, we're celebrating World NGO Day and World Anosmia Awareness Day. Now, World Anosmia Awareness Day, you might be wondering what it means. Well, it's a medical term associated with smell. Now, smell is a sense that most people probably take for granted, but it is in fact something that's not even that every person has. This often is underappreciated. Sense is an important part of everyday life, whether simply smelling flowers for enjoyment or smelling smoke that might indicate danger is nearby. Now, anosmia is a name for the loss of sense of smell, whether partially or completely, temporarily or permanently. Anosmia awareness is here to offer the little nod and perhaps some support for those who live with this condition. That is so true. A lot of persons have problem with smell, and that's why it's really difficult for some of these persons to be able to pick up smell. So if you're good with smell, the next person might not be good with it. Now, amazing thing is that there are ways to learn important facts about anosmia. Now, it says one excellent way to get connected with Anosmia Awareness Day might be to check out some important facts about this condition and then share them with friends, co-workers, and others to raise awareness about the day. Approximately 1 in 10 people have some sort of anosmia, though it is rarely a total loss of sense of smell. Those who have congenital anosmia experience it as a lifetime condition that begins at birth. Well, I'm not a medical professional, but we're going to be having a medical professional come into our studio today and probably throw more light if we have good luxury of time on our side. She's going to throw more light on this particular illness. But yes, today is Anosmia Awareness Day, and we are putting our hearts out there to those who have this condition, and we're hoping that things get better for them. Of course, today is also World NGO Day, and Perpetual Iboba will take us on that.
All right, the theme for World NGO Day 2025 is empowering grassroots movement for a sustainable future. I think the team hopes to highlight the fact that everything that's got to do with World NGO, that's non-governmental organization, has got to do with the grassroots for it to be more impactful. You target people in the rural areas, not just making them beneficiaries, but also stakeholders when it comes to disseminating your program. Now, this beautiful and universal concept of the World NGO Day is to celebrate and commemorate and also collaborate the various NGOs around the world and the people behind them. Now, it is a day for non-governmental organizations around the world to share knowledge and experiences with one another, bearing in mind that all of these NGOs may have their different mission statements, different functions, but basically, one thing that is common among all of them is to help humanity and alleviate human suffering. Now, in celebrating or commemorating today being the World NGO Day, you may want to spread the word about the beautiful and selfless service that non-governmental organization render to mitigate suffering and help people in the society. You can also choose to volunteer. Yes, you can volunteer your time or your resources or your skills to the advancement of any non-governmental organization that you want to belong to. There's a host of different ways to celebrate or commemorate this day. You can also choose to organize your own World NGO Day. Yes, it's possible. But the most important thing is, even as we celebrate non-governmental organizations today, have it at the back of your mind that you're human too. You may not belong to a non-governmental organization, but in your little corner, with the little things you do, you can also put a smile on the face of humanity.
All right, we want to say, give a special shout out to founders of NGOs who have continually tried to put a smile on the faces of people. I keep saying it here that government cannot do it all alone. Now, these NGOs sometimes come and collaborate just to make life easier and to ease the burden on the government. So yes, it is big kudos to convenience of NGOs, and it's okay for you to be a part of an NGO so that you can also give back to the society. That is the right thing to do. Speaking of the right thing to do, let's take a tour on what has been happening in Delta State. This very important one says Delta Police tackle insecurity. Now, the Delta State Police Command is taking action to address kidnapping and armed robbery in Ogwashuku community. That's a big one there, I have to say, because the Delta State government, they are really committed to making sure that the state is secure. And I have to say big kudos as well to our working governor, who has made his people a priority, talking about the people of Delta State. Now, the beautiful thing is that Bright Edafe, the PRO,
yes,
of the police division, took to his Instagram handle few hours ago to put up this post that says Ogwashuku Security CP Olufemi Obaniwanda deploys DPO Ogwashuku and orders a special operation to be led by the area commander of Ogwashuku, operatives of the Rapid Response Squad, Dragon Patrol, Eagle Net, and the Special Anti-Kidnapping and Cybercrime Squad has been deployed to the nooks and crannies of Ogwashuku. There will be no hiding place for kidnappers. That's a big one there. And then there's also a public notice saying the Commissioner of Police, Delta State, CP Obaniwanda Olufemi, has directed that all tactical commanders and DPOs deploy all available resources to checkmate the activities of armed robbers, kidnappers, and other criminal elements in the state. Now, members of the public are advised to reach out to the commander in cases of distress through any of the following dedicated control room numbers. Now, the numbers there are boldly written on your screen. So if you see or suspect anything, please call any of these three numbers that's on your screen right there: 08036849974. Another number there says 08125958005, and the last number there is 09053872287. Those are the numbers there. So please remember that I keep saying that Delta State is for me and for you. It's for all of us. So let's make it habitable for one another. So if you see something, do remember to say something. Do you have anything to say on that?
It's very, very important that at this point we should be vigilant in the society, in as much as these security operatives are there to enhance safety or ensure that we are safe. We also have our roles to play. So like Chizzy said, if you see something, say something. Thank God for the numbers that were displayed. I trust that we were with our papers and our writing materials so that we could jot them down, because they are very, very important. If you feel like you're not helping yourself or your area is safe, you could be helping your neighbor. So it is important that you put those numbers down. You never know when you will need them. So please, if you see something, say something, alert the authorities. Safety is everyone's business.
Right. Pepe, I just have to say that the Delta State government, they are doing the most. And I'll tell you something, these numbers are very active. Just last week here, they reeled out a number and said, you know what, if you see any building that you suspect is, that the building cannot be trusted or the building is not strong enough, call that number. It's an emergency number. Call that number. And I just have to say that this just goes to say that the Delta State government are doing the most in making sure that the people are okay. And it's very important for every government to make their citizens a priority. And I think other states as well should take a cue from this and make their citizens in their state a priority. Talking about priority, a lot has been happening in the health sector here in Delta State. And I stumbled on this beautiful video, which I feel a lot of persons don't know about it. So yes, we're going to play that video, and when we come back, we'll share more light on it. It's on the health sector of Delta State.
Currently experiencing not only in Delta State but across the country. His Excellency graciously approved the establishment of a second College of Health Technology in Ovrode. Contractors have mobilized to site and they started work in earnest. So we want to increase the production of this health personnel. For example, if we employ like 100 doctors today, by February next year, you see it will reduce to like 60 that will be left. It's a major challenge nationwide. So what His Excellency have done in his good wisdom, he has approved a standing order to replace any doctor or nurses that is leaving the hospital management board. For Asaba Specialist Hospital, all staff that is leaving the hospital, there is a standing approval to replace them immediately.
The contributory health scheme has the formal, the informal, and the equity plan. The equity plan is funded 100% by the state government. The equity plan comprises of the children under the age of 5. So all children under the age of 5, if they register, they will be given ID card, and when they present that at the hospital, they get free treatment. Secondary, primary level of treatment, they get that, including appendix at young age, hernias at young age, hydrocelectomy at that age are done free of charge. So we noticed that there are some health workers who are sabotaging the effort of government to provide these services free to the people of Delta State. We are sending a strong warning. We've caught some health workers who are involved in this unholy practice, and they were dealt with decisively. Some were demoted, some salary was suspended for some months. The ministry and the state government does not take this lightly. His Excellency in the last ESCO just approved 1.6 billion that will be used to clear some of the bills for the free maternal and free under 5. So I don't know why some health workers will be involved in these unholy practices. Like I said earlier, we won't take it for granted. We are sending strong messages to them. We're also keen into His Excellency whistleblowing policy. We've been doing that in the Ministry of Health. We engage patients to always report to the Ministry of Health if they find any of these acts.
That's that there. Big kudos. Now, I truly love the initiative. And just as I was saying, there's also a number to report complaints. Now, if you didn't get that correctly, it says the Equity Health Plan provides free health care for children under 5 and pregnant women. And the commission out there also reeled out some surgeries that would also be carried out as well for free. I mean, that's big ups to the Delta State government. Now, it also says, as an administration that prioritizes equitable and transparent healthcare delivery, the Delta State government strictly prohibits health professionals and other individuals from demanding payments from beneficiaries of this scheme. Any court violating this policy will face severe actions. He also goes ahead to say, for reports and complaint, contact 080-9341-4032. I'll take that again, 080-9341-4032. Now, Dr. Joseph Onojame, I will actually say, is doing very well. Now, yes, that's the number to call. And I can tell you for free that that number is very it's very active. So if you call the number, be sure that there's someone to pick up. 080-9341-4032. So yes, it's your right or your children's right to get free health care. Yes, and so don't be deceived to go to any hospital and then they're asking you for money. It's your right to get that treatment for free.
And you also have access to calling the authorities should you not be attended to in the way you expect to be attended to. I love the fact that not just the Ministry of Health, other ministries or other departments of the state government are taking cues to activating whistleblowing numbers.
Helpline,
because
yes.
they've realized that everybody has got to be involved in the governing process. There should be check and balances, and of course they also want to enhance a transparent system of government, which is very, very beautiful if you ask me. So that is the number for whistleblowing. If you feel like you're being exploited, you're not well being attended to, or you have complaints or clarifications that you want to get, that is the number, and the appropriate authorities will attend to you.
Yes, thank you so much, Pepe. Okay, speaking of attending, it seems like there's beginning to be light at the end of the tunnel, because the Dangote reduces petrol price. Dangote Petroleum Refinery and Petrochemical has slashed the price of petrol by 65 naira to 825 naira per liter. Pepe, I have to say that it's not where we're expecting it to be, but I think this looks like it's a big step in the right direction. Now, I also read that this has been implemented in some filling stations in Lagos State, and we're hoping that Delta State it also reflects in Delta State. But well, I can't do this alone, because very soon we'll have our guest analysts who would come talk to us on some of these trending issues. It's still Thursday's edition of Morning Ride. Don't go anywhere.
on Delta Television, we are the people's pride. Now, just before now, we're talking about many things going on as we celebrate today. Female gender mutilation, zero tolerance, Bob Marley Day, the iconic legend, and other several factors that we had as conversation. Matter of fact, we talked about Valentine's Day shopping. Now, let's talk about iconic. Let's talk about love. And let's talk about the females. In fact, let's talk about the social life of our youth in Delta State. With us is someone who shall do justice to that conversation. She is Her Majesty, the Queen of Delta at 33. She's nobody else than Queen Success Uke Omonabo. It's good to have you right here.
Good
morning, right?
Good morning,
Your Majesty,
Her Majesty.
welcome.
Thank you.
It's very rare for me to be with queens. People, all these women around call themselves Queen this and Queen that, but here I am with an actual queen with a crown.
I feel this person.
I'm throwing shit.
It's okay.
I'm throwing shit at Chizzy. I'm throwing shit at
I grasp that.
Look, she's a queen. Every woman is a queen.
You're showing your crown with every single woman.
Okay.
No, I
Thank
take
you,
my
Success.
crown, but every woman is a queen.
Okay, so today's conversation is on improving the social lives of Delta State, and that should mostly affect young people.
Yeah.
You are the Queen, Your Majesty, Delta at 33. First and foremost, before we talk about improving the social lives, let's talk about your perception about Delta State as far as our social lives are concerned.
Okay. I'm proud to be from Delta. I was born and brought up in Edo State, but then I moved to Delta to school. I schooled at Delta State University. I studied political science education.
Okay.
And then, since then, after my graduation, I moved down to Asaba. And this has made me experience my state more. From my 100 level to graduation and till after school, I've learned more about my state and I've grown to love it more each day. Now, Delta State is a hub for growth, creativity. Now, if you look, especially the youths who are creative here, no jokes. Start from the people around me, from the people I've grown to know, work with, meet on the street. You see, there is something special about every person. There is creativity in them. And then when this creativity is harnessed, you leverage on it, it becomes something really beautiful. So I see Delta State as a hub for creativity and innovation. That's how I see it. And speaking of the social vices, I feel it's something that can be worked on. It's something that they can learn to grow out of, because the world is growing fast. And what you need to do is, if you see what I feel, if you see somebody doing something bad and you've tried to talk them out of it, no problem, and it's not working, no problem. Show them the good side. Show them the good side. Make them see that they can do it. Like, this is something good, but I'm not just showing you, I'm letting you know that this is something you can do also. Speaking of creativity, you get me? So when you are creative, there's something you can build out of this thing and make money, as everybody wants money, of course. And you can make money and make name and become a good leader. So show that person what they are good at. Bring out that good thing out of them, and it keeps them busy.
Okay. Do you think enough focus has been put on the youth?
Okay.
Is there room for more?
Yes.
Okay.
There is room for more. Okay, I have a story.
Okay.
So I participated in the youth empowerment program that the government started last year.
Okay.
Maybe they started it before, but I participated in it last year.
This was before you emerged as
Yes,
queen?
before I emerged as queen.
Okay.
The YEP, it's called the Youth Empowerment Project.
Okay.
Yes, and it's under the MORE agenda. And I think the ministry sponsoring this is the Ministry for Science and Technology. So what they do is they teach youths digital skills. I think they also teach other vocational skills, but digital skills especially. You know, the world is growing. In technology, the world is growing
very much.
every day. So they teach digital skills, and I happen to participate in the YEP program under PIND
For free?
for free.
Okay.
For free. So how they do it, they train you for about 3 months,
and then there's 3 months internship, and then there is job placement. So I participated in this program where I learned graphics design, photography, and video editing for 3 months. They partner with tech schools around and other local businesses, and then I participated in this training for 3 months, and from there I went on for internship, and I'm working at a studio currently. Even as a queen, I'm working as a studio. So this program helped me transition from okay, I'm a fashion designer, from being a fashion designer into the tech space. From there I started content creation, I started earning, and even as a queen I still take other jobs.
Okay.
You get, so now this is just me, this is my story. Talk about other youths that have participated from this, and they are earning, and these persons are working already. From what I've seen and from my colleagues that we participated in this program together. So now talk about others. So Delta State is a hub for youth, and they have the youth at heart.
Okay.
There are so many, currently there are so many programs that are even coming up for the youth. So I advise that everybody should be on the lookout for these opportunities and grab them, because these are not just say empty promises. You see it, you do it, you get what you want from it, and you're out there in the job market.
Well, okay, let's talk about that more agenda now. If you've gone there, spoken about more. When you said more, that was the cue for Cheesy to go into that. And yes, you did the YEP thing, and it's working for you.
Yeah.
Looking at some of your colleagues that had, partook on that program,
Yeah.
how has your success story? How have the success stories for them been so far?
Okay. Now, thank God you're asking me about this. Is practical for me. The persons I'm seeing now, aside me being the queen, and of course I have a lot on my plate now. My colleagues, they are doing well. We're talking content creators. When you want to count content creators right now in this city, you pick like 15 of my friends first.
Oh, wow. I'll be talking to your friends after the show.
Like 15 of them. I'm not even joking.
Yes.
Like 15 of them, you count them first when you're talking about top content creators, video editors, graphics designers, UI UX designers, product designers. Talk about people in tech in Delta State. I'm a tech lady. Sorry, I keep talking about tech.
It's okay, talk about that.
I'm a tech
Talk about that again and again.
But yeah, these persons are earning. They are not doing charity work. They are earning, and it's making their lives better. And every day they keep seeing more opportunities and better things that they could do with what they have already.
Your Majesty, will you say that those in the rural area also get this opportunity as well?
Oh yes. Okay, now so aside, since I became the queen, it has given me opportunity to work closely with the government and government agencies. And now there are so many programs under the Ministry for Humanitarian and Girls, Community and Social Development and stuff. So they have programs for young ladies, young men. They go, and this program, they don't really do it in the urban areas.
Okay.
They take it to the rural areas, and then their vocational training, yes, that they take to the rural areas, not just in the urban areas. So they take it down to you. It's not just for say the high class people. No, they take it down to the rural areas, and that's why I said everyone should be on the lookout for these opportunities. It is out there. Don't sit back in your house waiting. You can stay in your house, but as long as you are online.
Because I also asked you how you accessed.
Okay, how I accessed it was online. Just scrolling through my Instagram. I'm always looking for opportunities. So I was just scrolling through my Instagram, and I saw a flyer about it. They're always posting it online. WhatsApp. Just be on the lookout for these opportunities. You can easily search for it. You are in Delta State, and when they do these things, they let you know that Delta State is participating from this. Oh, now there was a program that I engaged in for the past 4 months. It ended like say last week, where they trained 1,000 Deltans on digital skills. I happen to be a trainer on that program. I taught AI content
you're doing so much.
What can I say? So they trained 1,000 Deltans on digital skills. Now, it wasn't just for the youth, it was inclusive for everybody, including people with disabilities, adults, and you'll be
Very
surprised
inclusive.
to see. And these persons came from far and wide. Other persons came from Benin City, Bayelsa.
Oh, really?
Yes, and some persons were coming for this training every day. It depends on the course. You can take twice a week or 3 times a week, but people are spending money to come for these things. And when you ask them where they are coming from, you'll be shocked to know where they are coming from. They are not in this city.
Wow.
So how did they find it? Online.
Online.
So if they found it, what's your excuse? as a
Exactly.
doctor?
We don't even do town crying anymore. The internet is there, so there's so much
Well,
information
a
you
big
can
props
get.
to the Commissioner for Women Affairs and Social Development.
Yeah.
Talk about Princess Pat Ajudua, because when you talked about how she's going to rural areas
Yeah.
and take those young women
Yeah.
so they can be involved, it really is something to...
Not just that, Commissioner for Humanitarians, Commissioner Orede
Yes.
Udwagan, she's doing so much for women and the girls in Delta State.
That's beautiful.
So
That was
much.
the more agenda is doing more, really. And
Exactly.
maybe, who knows, there will be more awards for the governor of the state, apart from the This Day Arise award that he won just recently.
Oh, so much more.
All right, now let's talk about the social issues that are pressing on the young people. You talk about surfing the internet, surfing Instagram and social media, and you found that information. However, some other times it looks like that particular platform has caused more harm than good. So how can they balance that? As a role model who got a tech idea from that place to develop yourself, how would you advise young people out there to relate with the tech world or relate with the social media world?
Okay. In conversations like this, I always use myself as
Please go ahead, Your
as
Majesty.
the
Feel
example.
free, Your Majesty.
Because I have a backstory for everything. So while I transitioned from being a fashion designer, art creative to tech, from content creation to AI. Now, AI is a technology that is growing fast in the tech space. Now, currently I'm an AI expert. I teach people how to use AI. AI is not a skill, it's a tool for advancement. So I teach people how to use AI. Now, AI is a technology. It is online. It is digital, right? The fact that I use it for good doesn't mean everyone is using it for good. Some persons are misusing it for illegal practices. Now, this is my advice. Nothing good comes out from anything bad. Nothing good comes out from it. There is always an end, and the end is awful, right? So this is my advice to the youth. Do not engage in illegal practices. Now, internet has caused more harm than good. Talk about people seeing other lifestyles, and this is what they want. They feel like, oh, if my age mate is getting this, then I can get this. But that's not how it works. That is not how it works. When I talk about you finding the good in yourself, there is something unique about every person. Now, this is not a cliche. There is something unique about everybody. There is something you can create. There's something that you can make out of what someone else created. So find that good thing in you. There's always that part of you. Yes, there's always that part of you that tells you that you can do more and you can do more good. You can actually solve a problem, right? The whole thing about becoming great and doing something good for yourself or becoming successful is the fact that you can find a problem and solve it. Talking about change making.
Yeah.
So when you find that change that you can make, when you find it, you build on it. Find the special part of you, build on it for good. That's my advice, because I saw that I want to be someone great. I saw that I want to cause a change in my community before I became the queen. I just wanted to do something for myself, and I looked out for other women that were doing good in their community, in their space, at their place of work, online. I find other women that I look up to.
So they became inspiration.
Yes, for me. So
Alright.
so I try to follow up their footsteps, and I also try to create mine.
Okay.
I try to leave footprints everywhere I go, everywhere I walk, everybody I live with.
Okay.
So just try to create that change, try to make that change in your environment. You see good things will start coming out from it, and then leverage on that.
All right. Okay, while you were talking, you made a statement, misuse. Let's talk about the misuse of drug abuse. Will you say that enough sensitization has been done as regards to drug abuse? And do you have any plans to do more in line with the MORE agenda?
Yeah. Okay, so first off, I try to make myself as an example because my life is an example. So there is no, we can't underemphasize the effects of drug abuse. Talk about the lives that we lose every day to the misuse of drugs and intake of hard drugs. Talk about talents that are laying waste at the psychiatric, on the streets. Talk about destinies that, like people, creatives, because I said Delta State is a hub for creativity, right? Now, when you go to areas where people misuse drugs, talk about school areas. Talk about school areas where you see youths, they are just wasting
Even
time.
secondary school children.
Secondary school children.
Yes.
You just, sometimes I drive past some areas and I just know that this is a child.
Yes.
This is a child. Why? What are you doing? Like, oh, is it that their parents are not doing enough, or the adults are not doing enough? But they are. If you look at it, they are. All I have to do is advise you, and then when you experience it, at the end of the day, it has gotten so bad, it has eaten deep, and correction cannot be made again. It's like it's a worst case scenario already. This person is already out on the streets, mad, and some of them are even dead. My plan is, okay, my focus is the youth. For my program, I'm working on AI for Delta's future. Now, what I do, I said AI is a tool, right? What I do is I teach you how to use AI regardless of any skill that you've learned. My plan is to source out for creatives, the ones that are hardworking, or you intend to do something but you don't know where to start. So like I said, my aim is to find that good part of you, that unique side of you, and then we build on it. So I believe that when I can teach you, or I help you find out something special that you can do for yourself, that you can start off with, you don't have time to think about drugs or the pain you are going through. Because if you ask these persons, I'm being practical, if you ask, they tell you, oh, I'm stressed, family troubles, depression, and this depression because of family troubles, they feel like I'm not doing enough when my mates, they are doing better than me.
Yeah.
But you can do these things yourself. You can do it. You can find the right path and you can do it. I feel like I find joy more when I do something for myself. When I do something for myself and I know, oh, I look at it, I'm like, oh yes, I did this, and I'm proud of myself and I want to do more. Help you find out that you can do something more. I find out that thing you are doing, whatever you are, a fashion designer, a creative, a model, a dancer, a farmer, whatever skill you have, whatever skill you intend to learn, AI is a tool that can make everything easy for you. You don't have ideas, AI helps you to find ideas and then you build on it.
Okay. Now, we've spoken so much about the tech area and other areas too that young people can thrive in. But then, let's talk about our traditions and our culture, our heritage as a people. What innovative ideas do you think that Delta can inculcate or can use to promote our cultural heritage of the people? Because it looks like something that we are letting go of, and it needs to be sustained. If you agree with that.
Yeah. Okay, now, speaking of this, I believe in young minds because we're the creative ones. Sorry to derail that, but we're the creative ones, right? So now, speaking of arts, culture, and our tradition, now the world is growing globally in technology. Now, when you bring something to the internet, if I post something on WhatsApp now and you have my number, you see it, right? So I believe we should push our culture, our tradition more to the internet. Yes, it brings it to the global space.
Our culture and the global space, yes.
Yeah, so we should try to project this more to the global space. So we have beautiful traditions in Delta State. Talk about festivals. It's really colorful and very beautiful, especially these boat festivals that the Ijos do.
Yes.
The Shekiri,
Yeah.
talk about their outfits.
Yeah.
It's really beautiful.
The
So
Benin Okuku as well.
so you will go there, and it's beautiful. So I think we should post this more online, and we should try to promote our own.
Okay.
Let's support our own, because we have fashion designers that create these things, these attires we're talking about. We have people that build these structures, right? We need to post them, or we need to support them. Let them go out for competitions abroad. Let them go out to let them go out for training to see more.
Yeah.
Build on these talents, build on these skills that they have. Then let's just promote it.
Okay.
Because when I see it more, it becomes more beautiful, and people get more enlightened and aware of our cultures and traditions in Delta State.
That's
All
beautiful.
right. I
Yeah.
also want to be a part of it as well.
Of course.
Okay, Her Majesty, I'm aware of how you kept trying before you finally emerged as queen. But I'll tell you something, there are a lot of young girls out there
Yeah.
who keep trying, they don't get it right, and
Yeah.
some get discouraged.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to ladies who are aspiring and somehow trying to get discouraged, probably not seeing the light at the end of the tunnel and wondering why the light is not in the middle of the tunnel? What advice would you give to those ladies?
Wow. I still use myself as an example. Modeling is something I've had passion for a long time, and when I got into the university, it became a big thing for me. I started modeling in school. I became quite popular in Delsu with it, and at my final year, I contested in a pageant that didn't go well because of this stigma around beauty pageants, where it is scam, you waste all your time and resources and all your efforts, and at the end of the day, they just bring somebody and put the person there, and the person is the winner. You get discouraged about these things, because at the end of the day, you get little or no support after the pageant, after using all your resources. Yeah, it's like you're starting again from scratch. So I gave up on it totally, completely. I have a modeling agency, so because I still have a passion for modeling, I registered my modeling agency and then started training models for it. But then it's like I pulled back from it. Going for this pageant, I was forced to. You still have passion for this, go for it. I'm like, okay. Even down to the day I went for camp, I still did not want to go for it. But to God be the glory, I'm here. Maybe it's because I have to tell my story. Now, to every girl out there that has given up on modeling and then their passion for it, you can still do it. Just believe. If you know it's something you can do. Go for it. Find the right agents. There are a lot of fakes out there, especially in the modeling industry. There are lots of fakes out there. I won't dispute the fact that there are a lot of men that want to sleep with you. Sister, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. It's better you stay at home. You don't have anything else to do. Think of something else to do aside modeling. Let modeling come as the plus. Because if that's something that you believe is going to take you to the limelight, fine. Don't tarnish your way up there. Just stay focused on something else, build on something else, and when the time comes for you to do this modeling and God says it's your time to go into the limelight, for you to find the right agent, you will find them. But don't let anybody sleep with you because of modeling. Don't even try it. Relax, stay focused, build on yourself, and when time comes, you find the right agent.
I was going to
Her Majesty is a jealous baby.
I was going to go there, because the stigma about models are it's quite heavy,
Yeah.
And how many models sometimes streamline themselves
Yeah.
to only modeling.
Yeah.
But you have sent a message, a very
Yeah.
strong message, that you
Yeah.
can channel your energy
Yeah.
beyond solely modeling
Yeah.
and do other things. You
Yes.
started an agency,
Yeah.
you're also into the tech world
Yes.
and into so many others.
Yes.
I seem to know the next answer to the question I'm going to ask, but I'm going to ask it notwithstanding. If you were given a budget right now to change the narrative of Delta State, help our social lives and help the economy, what innovative ideas I didn't say idea, because I knew you were going to go tech. What innovative ideas are you going to use to help?
Okay, hell bent on skill acquisition and skills empowerment. So I believe, like I said, Delta State is a hub for creatives. Now, the fact that so many are already benefiting from the empowerment programs in Delta State, it still means that there is so much more that are not seeing it yet, and there are other ways you can come to them, right? Some of them might not even find this online. Some will scroll past them. You just have to find other means to bring it to them. So I feel like there is room for more skill acquisition programs. There is room for more. Aside tech, fashion designing, let's go deeper into it. So if I was given a budget, I'll create a program for skill acquisition aside tech, because I already have a program for that.
That was
I'll create a program for other vocational skills, right? Talk about script writing, public speaking, more catering services, skills, and then harness this, not just that. Create more job opportunities for these persons. Create a market where these jobs are already available. Create a community where these jobs are already available. So when these persons finish this, they know there is already a job available. Now in the tech space, there is so many jobs available. So many. There are more job opportunities than we have workers. So that's why we're trying to train more persons to meet up with these criteria in the job market. But there is also room for other skills, and there need to be more job opportunities for this person. So while you train them, create more opportunities for them, and I'm doing that, and I'm working on that already. So this is to every other sponsor and any other person that has a philanthropist that wants to do this. Please focus on these areas and also create opportunities for this person.
All right, I'm very passionate about children and teenagers. Are there any plans for them, especially teenagers who probably abuse drugs?
Yeah. Okay, so my creative life started quite early as a teenager. So yes, so this thing did not start with me as an adult, maybe because I wanted to make money. No, it started for me being a teenager. I learned how to make hair quite early, bead making, yes, and food too. So
All right, welcome back. That interview was a previous interview speaking with the Queen of Delta, and she's been talking to us on youth development in line with the MORE agenda. And behind the scene, I was just telling Perpetual how I think the Queen is very intelligent and she knows what she wants. And of course, she has the youth of the Delta people at heart. I hope you enjoyed that beautiful interview. Okay, I'm here with yet another guest who is going to come talk to us on something important. Now, according to WHO, self-care is defined as the ability for individuals, families, and communities to promote health, prevent disease, maintain health, and to cope with illness and disability with or without the support of a healthcare professional. Now with me here is Dr. Urema Kena Obodaga, consultant family physician from Ash Hospital, and she's going to be talking to us on self-care. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome.
Good morning.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so
again.
much. Thank you so much. It's always a delight having you on this set.
Yeah.
All right, so self-care is something that we hear on a daily basis, and I'm sure we all have personal views on what self-care should be, because on a lot of people's status you will see, oh, self-care, so I'm maintaining self-care. So but now I have a medical professional here who is going to dissect and talk to us on what truly does self-care mean.
Okay, thank you once again for having me this morning.
You're welcome.
Self-care is a process of having an intentional. I want to break it down. It must be intentional and it must be deliberate. So it's a group of activities that are intentional and deliberate to maintain your physical, emotional, social, and spiritual well-being. I would add financial.
Fine, very
Yes,
important.
because it's very important, because it's part of. Without the financial aspect, you might not be able to achieve most of the health care.
All right. Okay.
Self-care, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm aware that self-care is an umbrella for physical self-care, emotional self-care, and mental self-care. I don't know if we should add financial self-care.
I want to add it. I would like to add it.
All right.
When we try to break down how you can manage self-care, you find out that money is involved in
Money
anything.
is involved. I'm
And
telling
it's
you.
not like big money. You can save gradually to achieve some aspects of the self-care.
Right. Because when there's money, you're happier.
That's what they say, but it actually is true.
Yes.
It's true. Money helps you achieve a bit of self-care.
All right.
Yeah. Then talking about the umbrella of self-care,
Yes.
we have the physical. The physical has to do with what actions you take to take care of your body and the diseases, illness, diseases, how to promote, prevent, and manage
Yes.
illnesses in your body. And it comes from the love of yourself, as in trying to put your health needs first. That's the physical aspect.
Yes.
The social aspect is creating time for extra activities, friends, family, and that's where the money actually comes in.
That's where it comes in.
Having a family time, all these family holidays, they are not luxury. You are just bringing forth healing closer to you.
Right.
Emotional and mental, I would say it's what comes and proceeds from your mind, because even the Bible says we should guard our hearts with all diligence,
all
because
diligence.
the issues of life comes from there.
Yes.
So you find out that everything is centered about love for yourself. So for the physical aspect, you have to try to take care of yourself. For people that have chronic illnesses, you must not be ill to go for a checkup. You
Okay.
must not be sick to go for dental care, eye check. Most people are scared of going to do all those things, because once they get into the hospital, they say that will find something that is wrong with them.
Yeah, actually.
But it's good you find it and treat it immediately. Is the earlier the better. Like most people that come to the hospital with a lump on their breast and they are afraid, that it's better that you come and we check that lump to detect whether it's cancerous or not.
Okay, so how often should one visit a doctor in a year?
In a year, okay.
Yes.
If you have any chronic illness like diabetes, hypertension,
Okay.
I think within 3 to 6 months you should actually come for a review.
Okay.
So they will do a complete check, your laboratory finding. They will check for complications
Okay.
like diabetes. You are checking the eyes, because diabetes actually affects every part of the body.
Okay.
So you go for your retinopathy test, your eye test, to just know the extent it has gone. Then you do the holistic blood workup.
Okay.
Then if you don't have any illness, maybe every other year. Or
Okay.
come visit us. We want you to come so that we can have an interaction with you. You understand?
Yes.
Most a burden shared.
It's a burden
Have solved, yes.
So that's just all about it.
Okay, so share more light on emotional self-care and of course to mental self-care, because in the society we live in today, a lot of persons are suffering from mental breakdown and they don't even know. And I think because we live in a society where people are easily stigmatized, when people are going through things, emotional trauma or mental trauma, they don't know who to talk to. And so I would want you to encourage and, of course, share more light the importance of taking care of this aspect of our lives.
All right, thank you very much. Emotions we can't really take away from ourselves.
Yes.
Like I said earlier, it comes from our mind, and it comes from at every point in time, everybody has something they are going through.
Right.
So your ability to stay calm, somebody, we are coming to that somebody,
Okay.
to somebody, talk about it. If you don't have anyone to talk to around your circle, you can choose a neutral person. It must not be your pastor, it must not be, because maybe you talk to your pastor, and then when your pastor is innocently preaching, you think
feel you are the
you are
one.
the one he's talking about. Or maybe you're having an issue with your spouse and you post something on your status. Indirectly, your spouse will feel that is him that you're
talking
referring
to. Yes.
Maybe that's just what your mind is playing out at that time. But I also want to say this scripture. Sorry,
Yes,
I'm using
please.
a lot
Oh,
of
no,
scripture.
it's
The
fine.
Bible
It's your
says,
time.
have no anxiety about anything, but in everything by prayer and supplications. You find out that sometimes there are, for emotional and mental health, there are certain things that God has embedded in you to make you ease off. You can do journals. You find out, like me, if I'm stressed or if I'm depressed or if
Yeah.
I'm worried, I do a lot of painting and write-ups.
Nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
I like painting. So there is this stress therapy book I have that is painting. By the time you finish all the paintings, you will find out that your mind is a lot calm, and the ability to stay calm in every situation, no matter what it is very powerful. So, in aside the depression that is over the, I don't know how to put it.
It's
down.
on the increase.
Aside
Yes.
aside from the depression that we manage,
Yes.
there are also depression that you as an individual can manage.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay.
Because everything is not all about coming to the hospital and seeing a doctor, but there is a level of depression that I feel that individual can cope with and you can manage.
Like
And
what
then-
you just mentioned now about painting, it's a form of therapy, right?
Yes, it's a form
Okay.
of therapy. And
Yeah.
then you surround yourself with people that have positive vibes.
True.
You surround yourself with people that can build you. If you must have a friend that will always bring you down and will always bring you up.
Creativity.
People that make you see, as in they pick one thing from yourself, from you, and then they blow it, and it helps to make you feel confident and then get back your self-esteem. So that's the best way to deal with emotions. People react differently to emotions, and I hope we know that self-care, as we are different based on different ages. So you have adolescent self-care, you have women's self-care, you have men's self-care, you have geriatric self-care, just like that. So every group has their own special need. I have things that bother them at every stage of their
Okay.
life.
So for mental self-care, when is the right time to say, you know what, I need to talk to a professional? Because it's one thing to decide to want to talk to your pastor, it's another thing to decide to want to talk to a friend. But I know, and I'm sure that when you talk to a medical professional, it's much easier because they
They
can
don't know you.
navigate you through what might be happening to you. You might go to meet your pastor, and when you're done talking to your pastor will say, let us pray. Or you might talk to your friend, and say you talk to 4 friends, your 4 friends will give you 4 different advices.
ideas.
Yes. But if you talk to a medical professional, there's every tendency that they might even put you on some drugs that might help calm your nerves or something. But a lot of persons will tell you that they are not really professionals who you can talk to. When should be the right time for you to say, you know what, I'm having a mental breakdown, I should talk to a medical professional at this point?
I think that to me, I think if you can't handle it, talk to somebody. Go her.
Okay.
If you cannot cope anymore, when you start having wrong ideas, when you start seeing things, hearing things, saying when you're off it, when you can't just take it in, just talk to somebody. If you want, you come to the hospital, talk to us. We have psychologists, we have psychiatrists. People don't like seeing psychiatrists because they think that they are mad.
They are mad,
But
yes.
no, it's not. It's just mental health. You just need a talk therapy. Some people form groups.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, some people form groups. All these groups are also, they also help in psychotherapy.
Okay.
So you share your burden, like for instance, which people like use? Okay, people with cancer,
Sure.
they have cancer group, girl power, all those small groups that also help. So if anybody can't handle it, especially when it gets even to when you having suicidal ideas, you need to just talk about it. Just tell somebody. Don't wallow in it. Don't feel ashamed about it. Just talk to somebody, even if it's a heartbreak, even if it's anything. Don't depend on it. Even if it's an illness that you don't know, you can never tell where your help might come from. Yes.
So, doctor, when you talked, I want to ask a question that is like intertwined. It's got to do with physical, it's got to do with stress management, and it's also related to mental health.
Yes.
Now, as an individual, probably there's an individual that has lots of work piled up. Work, like work at the office, family work, personal work. So, and there's a problem with having too much work to attend to. That's the aspect of sleep. Because even when you're sleeping, your
You're
subconscious
working.
is not even sleeping. Yes, your subconscious mind is working even when body-wise you're on the bed. So how do you compartmentalize? Yes, compartmentalize all of this so that it doesn't choke you. Bearing in mind that even when you allow these things to choke you and God forbid you are no more, life continues. So how do you put all of these in compartments to ensure that you attend to all of these successfully, bringing out a good result, and at the end of the day you don't end up going down mentally? Yeah.
Reducing burnout.
Burnout,
just
that's
it.
the word.
So in aspect of reducing burnout, it has to be you talking to yourself, loving yourself first. So, and then you avoid procrastination.
Okay.
If you have a lot of things piled up at work, you become disorganized. No matter how the workload is, you set individual goals, like small goals. Today is Monday. What do I need to do? Get your journal, write it down. I want to do this. I want to, at the office, okay, like my time starts by 8. I'll have a meeting. I'll write that letter. I'll do this. I'll do that. You try to group them. Small goals. At home, what are you meant to do? Sleep by 8. Do this. And when you're sleeping, you make sure you're sleeping. Not you're sleeping and your phone is on silent. If your phone disturbs you, you have to put it away. There is what we call sleep hygiene. Ideally, a room for sleep, for bedtime, is not even meant to have anything, like it's just meant to have your bed and that's it.
No gadgets.
No gadgets. Even the lights are meant to be dim. So when you walk into that room, you know you are going to sleep. You understand? You just leave because the greatest distraction we have at this time is our phones.
Yes.
So most of people, they break down, they have migraines, they have other illnesses because they are 247 on the phone.
Okay, so Dr. Urema, I want to ask you, insomnia, is it a mental illness? Because I really want to know, because some persons have related it to mental illness when you're not able to sleep. And then I also want to know, for children, how many hours, because now you talked about self-care as well for children, how long should a child sleep at least? Because you find out that some parents don't know the right time to send their children to school, to bed, and then by morning time, when the children should wake up and be stronger, you see that they still want to sleep more. Although if you leave children, they actually want to watch cartoon till late into the night, and then they don't mind not going to school the next day or waking up by 11 o'clock. But I just want to know, is insomnia a mental illness? And when is the right time for you to send your kids to bed to ensure that they wake up stronger the next day?
Okay. She wants to set me up. You want parents to come on me. Anyway, okay, insomnia can be a side effect from a mental illness.
Okay.
If some people, when they are depressed or when they are having one issue or not, they find out that they can't even sleep. It can also be an illness on its own. It can be from a cause of an illness.
Okay.
So insomnia is lack of sleep. That's what it means.
Yes.
So some people, there is nothing wrong with them. There is nothing absolutely wrong with them, but they just can't sleep.
Yes.
Yeah. So there are many. That's a topic for another day. Sleep and causes of lack of sleep and all that. But you find out that there are a lot of factors surrounding insomnia.
Okay.
And some is self-induced, like the children.
Yes.
Once you put cartoon, they
It's
won't
certainly
sleep.
self-induced. Yes.
Some we too. It's self-induced. We are waiting for Hallelujah challenge.
Right.
We don't want to sleep. So the right time to put a child to bed, I would say between 8 and 9. At least a child should be able to sleep between 6 to 8 hours.
Okay.
So once they are through with their activities, they should just try and put them to bed, because schools now end around 4, 5.
Exactly.
Before they finish their home front, some people stay back after school club, 6 o'clock. Working mothers, before you pick them, they are eating, resting, time to play, watch a little TV. And so what you do is to set goals, family goals for TV.
Okay.
You can set that's just to make it lighter for everyone. You can set family goals and tell a child, okay, no TV on weekdays. So that they can get enough rest and their brain will refunction.
Okay.
Or 30 minutes TV. Like sometimes when some children come to my house, I try to find out the cartoon that they like, and you find out they play it for like 30, 45 minutes. So I'll say, okay, you watch Sophia the First and then go and sleep.
Okay.
Then they're happy.
Okay.
Then you can use it as ground rules, only weekends, Friday to Saturday, and like that.
Okay.
So that's the best way I can factor in children and their self-care.
Okay.
So
That's
Dr.
beautiful.
Urema, there's also, apart from insomnia, there's also a thing called being nocturnal. Now, some people have said they are nocturnal because they can't just help it.
I
you
actually
know.
pride myself as a nocturnal
Now,
being.
some people say actually they can't help it. Some people will say no matter how stressed I am during the daytime, I just find myself probably shutting my eyes for 30 minutes or 1 hour, and that is it. At night I am very, very active and all of that. So I want to know, is it as a result of mental health issue, or probably there's something you want to fight, like mentally, or something you're going through that you may not want to admit to yourself as an individual? Like what is the cause? And if being nocturnal is a mental health issue, does it have a cure?
Well, I would say that the nocturnal thing, it's actually most of the time, apart from it being mentally associated, it's self-induced.
Okay.
It's the rhythm that you've built in your system
Okay, so
over
your
time.
body
over
adapts
time. So your
to
body
it.
adapts to it. Like me, even if I sleep by 4 a.m., I'm awake by 5. And between the hours of 12 to 2, I'm also awake.
It's probably because
So-
that's how you were trained in medical school.
I don't know. But you find out that, but if I want to sleep, there are also activities that I will do. By the time you count from 100 backwards to 1, you have drifted off. You would sleep. There are also activities. But sometimes when I find myself awake at that time, I engage myself into certain things rather than trying to mentally engage myself into thinking, oh, I've not done this, I've not done that, I've not done that.
But being nocturnal now,
Yes.
does it have a negative effect on
It
the
can.
individual?
It can, if the individual is not getting enough rest.
Okay.
It will just pile up, because we usually, there's this saying that said, body no be firewood.
Yes.
No matter how you pile it up, if you're being nocturnal and you're not getting enough sleep, one day you will log out. and you sleep the whole sleep, you've not slept,
Yeah.
your body will get tired. But people just keep moving like that, and
So does it also affect the functionality of an individual when it comes to like work outputs, individual outputs, when it comes to productivity and all of that?
okay, individuals are different.
Yes.
There are some people that can work better under stress.
Okay.
Yes, there are some people that put them under stress, everything 100% done. So that's why it's actually, I would say, it's individualized, because some people will try it and they are not functioning mentally. Like for instance, I remember when I went for my exam, certain time, and there was this my colleague that had issues. Okay, he had issues in the previous one, and he had another one like in 2 weeks. So he was just panicking. You know how you prepare for exam, medical exams, you've not read. I just told him, please, just log out, go and sleep. You find out that after that sleep, whatever you read stinks in. Yeah. So you have to look at your mental states at every moment and in every condition to know exactly what you need at that particular time. So to some people, it works for them. To others, it works for them. That's why you have groups in class, even if they play, they are coming first position because they just need to open the book once and it sticks. But some other people, they have to read it over and over before it actually sticks. So you can't really quantify or say, but it's based on the individual.
All right, Dr. Urema, as a medical professional, of course you have a lot of experiences. Can you give us some tips and practice that you think everyone should adopt that would help us in our self-care journey?
Okay. I'll start with the financial.
Okay.
Okay, I added financial because saving is what we find difficult to do.
Okay.
So, and people need to learn how to save for emergencies, even if it's 1 naira per day.
Okay.
Even if it's you just put it away. You understand?
Sure.
You save. Families can collectively save for family trips. It must not be UK, Canada, anywhere. You can just decide to lodge in neighboring state, or just go somewhere to relax. Here in Delta State, we have a lot of I think I don't know their names. We have some
Few resort
centers
yes.
here in Asaba.
Yes.
So you can decide on a Saturday, I'm taking my family, let's just go and unwind. Or you sit out, create time for you.
Go painting. I like the painting part.
Yes, there is sip and paint.
Yes, sip and paint.
I don't know, I see the flyers around Asaba.
Yes.
So you just try and unwind your week and reboot for the next week. So the other tip is basically you can even, there are some groups now. Most civil servants, they have groups where they do contributions, target contributions. So it helps your mind at least
to make life easier.
Like if you want to pay your house rent, and you know house rent is expensive, it
Right.
can give you depression in
Yes.
Asaba. You join those groups.
Save towards
it. Your rent is in October. Say I want to be the one they are paying in October. So you know that rent has gone off. School fees time, you can split the contribution. You join 2 contributions. You're paying 10K here and 10K here. Before you know it, 10 of you is giving you 100,000,
Right.
and you can use it to solve 1 or 2 problems. Then another thing is the physical aspect. You have to do exercise, limit your lifestyle generally, eat right, drink enough water, rest. Don't do beyond your ability. Rest, find time to rest, find time, go into your secret place and rest. You need that rest. Avoid the stress, stop procrastinating so that you won't keep piling up things for you to do. And be under pressure.
Okay, so Dr. Urema, with all you've said, one thing I've noted is that self-care has to do with discipline. If
Yes.
you're not a disciplined person,
Discipline and consistency.
exactly, discipline and consistency, you can't factor self-care into your
Yes.
life. So if an individual has a very, very busy schedule, like he or she leaves the house very early in the morning, let's say before the wee hours of the morning, and he or she comes back like very, very late, how does that individual intentionally, with discipline, with the lots of distraction and people cramps around, factor self-care into his or her daily routine?
Okay. In your individual offices, you can take 30 minutes break. Like in my office, in my department, we make sure that the doctors go out to call in the patients. You find out that we are not doing it to stress the doctors. We are doing it so that every moment they are working, that work is exercise. They are not seated the 8 hours they are working in one place. So even after that, we in my department we created a little time for each doctor to go and eat, refresh, walk around, do anything you want to do. So I think that having a busy schedule is good. It keeps your mind up,
Busy.
but you should not stress and work out yourself. So you have to create break times. I'm telling even industries, parastatals, that they should create break times for people that are working. Sometimes they will work, they'll forget that they've not eaten, and it's when they are coming home they say, oh, I forgot to eat. It's not really good. They should create break time, and they must go for that break time. In abroad, if there is break time, you must whether you like it or not, you must use it.
Yes.
So we can create that 30 minutes break time for individuals so that they can ease themselves and relax a bit.
Okay, so you're saying this, and some persons are wondering what are the benefits of self-care. The truth is, I will go back again to WhatsApp status. You have a lot of people say no, self-care, self-love, but they are not really practicing it. So let us know, what are some of the benefits?
It's because I don't think they are aware totally of what
self-care means. Yes.
Some people think that self-care is I had a heartbreak, or I'm loving up on myself, and all that. It's not all about emotions. It's like you said in the beginning, it's an umbrella. So it's all encompassing. So people should also know that self-care has to do with your physical, your mental, your emotional, and the added spiritual well-being, because what you believe works for you. Yes, and there are a lot of cultural things that, like, for instance, the Jehovah's Witness that don't like blood transfusion, that there are, and some other cultures that don't accept immunization. I had a house help that she had children. She didn't immunize them. I spoke, and so she said, "Madam, you know they work now, but they work." You will find out that it was working for her. As the more I was talking about immunization, the children are getting bigger and healthier. So it was looking as if I was. So there are some cultural practices that affect one's self-care. So that's just it.
So, Dr. Orema, in talking about self-care, another thing that just popped up in my mind is the art of being mindful, because we have a lot of distractions going on in the society. The ones you are aware of, the ones that just comes to you by surprise, and it shakes your mental health, that you've got to be strong to take it in, like shockers. So in the midst of all these storms, I'll call them storms because it's not the normal, it's an anomaly if you ask me. So in the midst of all these storms, how does an individual practice the art of intentionally being mindful in the society?
Setting boundaries.
Okay.
That's just the way it is. You set your boundaries. You try to create a self-environment where you know who to talk to, what to say, what you feed in, as in what you are listening to.
Protecting your energy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you're setting boundaries in every aspect of your life. That's just the way to deal with it.
All right. Okay,
Thank you.
Dr. Rema, I'm wondering, are there medical conditions that benefit from self-care?
Yes. Totally. The mental aspect, especially the depression,
Yes.
people that you're even physically they do people that are having chronic illnesses, even
Okay.
well people, everybody benefits from self-care. You benefit in one way or the other from self-care. Like if you have diabetes, you're able to know the time you set boundaries on, you try to create that avenue that you won't take in sugar. You set goals for yourself. I'm not going to drink Coke. I'll change my Coke to water.
Discipline.
It's all discipline. So everybody just benefits from the whole self-care thing, and it's needed. You can't stay away from self-care because you need to stay alive to help another. Remember when you're on board flying, they'll tell you put your oxygen mask first
Exactly.
before you help another person
Another
to breathe.
person.
So you cannot give what you don't have. You cannot help another person until you're dealing with yourself. That's why we see people, we just hear news that people committed suicide because they didn't know. They are busy making people laugh, and you are laughing,
bring
not
upon
knowing that
themselves.
you need that laugh. So it's beneficial. There is no how, and there is nobody at any age or any point in time that does not need self-care. You need to take care of yourself.
You need to take care of yourself.
So it's easier to say you need to take care of yourself. You need to love yourself. So it's easier said than done.
It's easier said
in
than
actuality,
done. In
words
reality.
are faster than practical. So as an individual, how do you like practice out all of these things, like being very, very intentional, show yourself self-awareness, self-connection, and all of that?
Discipline.
Okay.
That's the much I can say because it's individualized.
Okay.
You understand what you're going through, what might be depressing you will not depress
Depression.
me. You understand what is affecting you might not be affecting me. So I would say again that it's your consciousness and you being intentional about your health, about your mental health, about not stressing yourself, about taking it one day at a time. It has to be you that would help us to help you. So that's the much I can say.
I think that's a good way to leave it. It has to be you that will help us to help you. Thank you so much, Dr.
Thank you.
Urema.
Thank you, Dr. Rema.
It's
you.
always
Thank
an
you.
absolute pleasure for you to come sit here and share with us your wealth of experience. And we are sure that when we call you again, you will come. Particularly, I want to talk more on insomnia.
Okay.
So I'm sure when you call us here,
Okay.
when we call you here,
It's as if you're not sleeping.
yes,
That's why you're interested.
I'm not,
in
and
it.
I'm drinking a lot of carbonated drinks. I'm trying to cut on that.
Ooh.
I'm trying to cut on that. Thank you so much,
Thank
Dr.
you.
Urema.
Thank you.
All
Thank
right,
you.
you're welcome. We've been speaking with Dr. Urema Kenna Obodagba, and she's a consultant family physician at Ash Hospital, and she's been talking to us on self-care and the importance and benefits of self-care. It's still Thursday's edition of Morning Ride. Don't go anywhere. that's where we call it a wrap. We draw our curtains on today's edition of Morning Ride. Your last words, Pepe.
We had 2 international commemorations today. The first is the World Anosmia Day, and the theme for today is Unseen Impact, recognizing the hidden challenges of smell loss. And also we had the Non-Governmental Organization Day today with the theme Empowering Grassroots Movement for a Sustainable Future. Now, one thing that stood out for me on these 2 commemorations is that they are human-centered. So as an individual, be a human-centered individual, looking out not just for yourself, but also for others with kindness.
All right, with kindness. Special appreciation to our supervising producer in person of Nimebofa Ozibo and our producer Nkechika Vivian, and the man behind the MC Arrow, Alex Afodu, our cameraman doing the most, Eunice and Uche. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. On behalf of board management and staff, all I have to say is remember that Delta State and Nigeria is for me and you. If you see something, do say something. I'm Chizzy Awuno. Until we come your way bright and early tomorrow, good morning and God bless you.